Hello, everybody, and welcome. It's Sunday. I'm George. This is The Couch. It's Sundays on the Couch with George. Happy Sunday, everyone. I hope you guys had a week inside. That's all I'm going to say. We are super excited about today's episode. For those of you who are watching who maybe didn't know, we had to reschedule A Great Big World. Ian Axel had a death in the family, and so we're going to move their episode to later in the month, possibly early June. But saving the day is an amazing woman that I love very much, and we'll get to her in just a moment. Before we do that, I would like to walk us through the donation process. So here at Sundays on the Couch, our goal is to bring you a good time every Sunday. But more than that, we are trying to raise money each week for a different cause. And so what you'll do is go down just a little bit into the video description, and you'll find a link to a GoFundMe page. You'll head over to that page. Do it now. I'll wait. Great. So you'll go ahead and donate in increments of $10. So for every $10 you donate, your name is entered once into a drawing. And at the end of our show, we will select randomly 10 people who get to join me and our special guest today in a post-show Zoom hang that we're calling Sunday Study Hall. Your donations will help all of us make a huge difference, all from the comforts of our own living rooms. Winners, by the way, you must have Zoom downloaded in order to participate in Sunday Study Hall. So you've got plenty of time to do that. We're also, as you may know, doing an art contest. So every week we feature an artist and their renderings of their living rooms here on the show. And so if you are talented at drawing, good at drawing, send your illustrations, high res, to sundaysonthecouchwithgeorge@gmail.com, and you could be featured in an upcoming episode in the coming weeks. This week's artist extraordinaire is Sarah, aka J Eska Arts, on Instagram, and you'll see Sarah's living room in just a few. Thank you, Sarah, for sending your submission, and thank you to all of everyone else who's been sending submissions. I think that wraps up rule time for today. Before I bring in our special guest, I do have a couple of shout outs. At home watching are my nieces and my nephews. So I want to say hello to Pia, Anna, Elizabeth, and Christopher. I love you guys very much, and I'm so glad that you're watching today. Now on to the guest. I met this guest almost 10 years ago, and in over almost a decade, we've worked together on countless projects. She produced favorites like Be More Chill and Broadway Bounty Hunter, Love and Hate Nation. She directed, curated, and produced The Jonathan Larson Project. And she's the director of programming at Feinstein's 54 Below. She's a great friend and a wonderful human being. Let's welcome Jennifer Ashley Tepper. Yay! Hi, Jen.
Hi, George. I'm happy to see you.
I'm so happy to see you. You are on your couch.
I'm on my couch. I'm in front of a telegram that Joe Icata sent me on opening night of Godspell, I just realized.
Wait, read it.
There it is, right there. Isn't that crazy?
What did it say?
It says, happy opening, see you at Sardi's, Joe. It's like an old-fashioned thing that he did for Godspell opening night. But I didn't realize that till I was, this isn't my usual spot for live streams. I spiced it up.
I love it. So Jen and I actually met because, Jen, you worked for Ken Davenport, who was the lead producer on Godspell.
I did. I remember our whole origin story, like the moment we met. So exciting.
I love it. Oh, no. Getting some text messages. Anyway, Jen, you have chosen an amazing organization that has already been doing some really great work. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your charity, which is the Actors Fund?
Yes. So first of all, like, thank you so much for having me. I don't know anyone who has made me cry with their gigantic heart as much as George Salazar. So shout out to everyone who's put this whole Sundays on the Couch with George thing together. The Actors Fund is doing incredible things right now in all ways for everybody in the arts and entertainment community. It's always emphasized that it's not just for actors, despite the name, and it's really not. If you go on their website, if you need help, if you need assistance, they have specific funds and resources for musicians and stagehands and all kinds of entertainers and backstage folks. They do so much during this time when so many people have so many things that are unsure in their lives. How are they going to pay rent? How are they going to pay for health insurance? The Actors Fund is helping more people than ever who really need it in our community. So they're so essential. I can't even stress how essential they are, and they need our support so much right now. So anything you can give to the Actors Fund is very important and special. And as a bonus, you can watch Brian Stokes Mitchell sing out of his window. That's like the spirit of the Actors Fund in action. So thank you for helping and donating.
You heard it from the Queen. Everyone, if you haven't donated yet, head over to the GoFundMe page. $10. It's a very easy donation if you're able to do it, and it will go a very, very long way. So Jen, we've all been home. What have you been doing to take care of yourself?
One of the things that has been really keeping me sane is I gave myself the project of reading 100 books. I did this when I was growing up, and when I was in college, I would be like, I want to teach myself things about musical theater that I'm not learning in class, or I want to read all the novels that I never read. And so I gave myself this book project, which has really been nice to sink into reading. And I've read some really cool books.
What are some of the books you've read?
So I read the Fortress of Solitude book, which was amazing because I'm obsessed with Michael Friedman's musical Fortress of Solitude. That was an incredible read. I've been reading everything from I just read this book called Summer at Tiffany, which is a real life memoir from these two college girls who came from Iowa to work at Tiffany in the 40s. So it's real life Manhattan adventures kind of stuff. And yeah, I'm reading The Handmaid's Tale right now, so very relevant. But
wow, dark.
Yeah, no, it's dark sometimes. I've been doing a lot of research and studying other times in theater history that there have been crises, because I feel like that's been an interesting thing to kind of dive into. And then sometimes I've been escaping into magical worlds of fiction.
I love that. How many books have you read so far?
So far, I've read 30. I'm in the middle of 4. So in the next couple of days, that'll turn into 34. So I've been reading a lot, but I've also been writing. So I've been working really hard on my 4th volume of Untold Stories of Broadway. I feel like it's really nice for people. Some people want to escape into movies, TV, listening to stuff. And for me, it's been mostly reading and writing recently.
I love that. That's a very Jen Tepper thing. All of that is extremely Jen Tepper. Have you been watching TV or movies or?
Yeah, I have been watching some. I've been going through phases, as I think we all are. Apparently, I promised my best friend, Zach Zadek, that I would watch The Leftovers, which is his favorite TV show. And I promised him this years ago and forgot. So at the beginning of quarantine, he was like, you're finally going to watch this. And I was like, this seems really scary for right now. I'm going to have nightmares, but I guess I promised, so I will. And it was amazing. And I got totally sucked into The Leftovers, which he was right. And that was a really cool thing to get sucked into. What have you been listening to, watching, reading, anything? Right?
I started with my quarantine. I started the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and we've been watching the Marvel movies in story chronology. So rather than watching them by release date, we've been watching kind of the whole story kind of unfold. We just finished Avengers Endgame, so there's one more. I think it's something like 22 movies we will have watched. We have a Spider-Man film next, and then after that, who knows?
I feel like it's a nice thing to have a specific project with it, people that are watching the top 10 movies of a certain decade or that, to kind of put a project spin on it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and so it's been that and some, obviously this show and Mario Kart late night binges, that kind of stuff, adult things.
Yeah. One of the coolest things is that, there's so much we can't control about this time. So what can we control? And I feel so often I can't listen to music the way that I did in middle school and high school, where I just listened to music and I was I'm going to learn this new cast album, or I'm going to learn this new artist, and just put it on and do nothing else but listen. And I've been able to do that during quarantine, which has been nice. And I really recommend to anyone watching.
That's amazing. May I recommend to you the Brooklyn cast album?
Thank you. What a good recommendation.
Yeah, it's the only thing I would really recommend. And lastly, my big question for all of our guests is, what are you preparing to conquer once life returns to somewhat of a normal state?
That's a
I
great.
mean, you're working on volume 4, so that's.
Yeah, that's definitely been one part of it. I feel like, we've never experienced a time like this, but we've also never experienced so many of the past times of crises. And I feel like in studying like the history of it and writing my book and like reading a lot, I feel like more and more prepared for whatever the things are with like restarting 54 Below and going back to the theater and, releasing a new book. I feel like very much like my brain and heart are preparing to do all of those things by learning about what's happened in the past with things like, the 1918 pandemic, the Great Depression, like not to, bring it down. It's actually, I'm finding it inspiring to read about people during other times who've gone through things and how they have dealt with it.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I for one, am excited for life to return to normal. I'm excited for Broadway to come back. I'm excited for all of the out of work theater people to be back to work. And I'm sure all of the people watching today are excited for that to happen as well.
Yeah, I feel like, there's no wrong answer for anyone for what people are doing during this time. Like, it's really whatever's going to help you, like mentally and health wise and all of that to get through it. But I feel like whatever your heart and gut are telling you to do is going to help you in some way. Like, if what anyone needs to do is like incubate and watch 1,000 movies, then like that's going to inspire you. You're going to know all those movies. So just like do whatever feels right, I feel like is kind of high.
Yeah, I think the key and we talked a little bit about this yesterday, but I think the key for me and for a lot of people is just to take it one day at a time. It's like all that we can really do. And so, yeah, I found myself, I've said this many times before, but I found myself kind of regressing back into childhood. And, I don't know about you, but I never felt safest than I felt in kindergarten. And as you know, schools across the country are closed. So, a huge chunk of our show every week is called School's Out. And so we've got some fun segments planned for you, Miss Tepper. The first of which, arts and crafts.
Oh my God, I'm so scared.
So listen, as some of you at home may know, the Broadway Bounty Hunter original cast album is out and is so good. And Jen and I have been huge fans of your fan art, all of you at home. And so we thought we'd give fan art a try with Annie Golden, Bounty Hunter fan art.
Okay.
So Jen, you've got your pen.
I do.
My paper
is the back of a coloring book that I bought in Barrington, which is the Bounty Hunter shout out. So this is what we use for paper in the quarantine.
You know what? This is perfect. I lost my pen.
Oh, you can borrow one of mine.
That's not how internet works, Jen.
Okay.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So Jen, check it out. We're gonna put 60 seconds on the clock.
Okay.
And you're going to do your best to create Broadway Bounty Hunter Annie Golden fan art. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's get 60 seconds on the clock. Go. Oh, I didn't take the cap off my pen. All right.
You should know I'm famously bad at arts and crafts, which is yet another reason I worship our fans because they're so good at fan art.
All right.
Oh God! Oh God!
Oh my God. It looks like she's wearing a nightgown. 30 seconds left.
Really?
30
You're
seconds.
so ashamed of me.
Oh God.
Ah!
Oh my God.
Ah!
10 seconds.
Oh my God, this is horrible.
Time. Jen.
So bad.
Pencil down. Jen,
It's
I'll
not
show you
good.
mine.
It's horrible. Thank you. I forgot Fanny Golden too. She has lots of beautiful fan art that's not by us.
Annie here has, it looks like 9 strands of hair.
Yeah. You at least made her history. I just did my I don't know.
My Annie is holding her Outer Critics Circle Drama Critics Award.
I was trying
to
like a headshot holding moment, but it didn't quite happen.
And she's got giant swollen feet.
You did great with the feet. They look really good.
Thank you very much.
So it's so good.
We'll send those over to Annie, and she can put those up on her.
Thank you for the plus points because of the color.
On her wall. So for those of you who have not listened to that album, I highly implore you to check it out. It is very good. It is out officially on Ghostlight Records. It's one of my favorite Joe Iconis scores, and I saw the show 4 times.
You were also in the show.
And I was in the show. Yeah, but I was in the show, 1.0. Moving on. Have you eaten today?
I've eaten a little bit, not in a few hours.
Okay. Well, fortunately for us, it's snack time.
Hey,
Jen, before you share yours, I have a story.
Yeah.
So one of my quarantine members, Rachel Geisler, she baked challah from scratch, and it's delicious. And so I thought today would be a great opportunity to eat some challah with peanut butter on it, because the stickier the better. Jen, what's your snack?
So Jewish. So my snack is, you said like what has been comforting you, what kind of snacks have been comforting you, and I've made some of like my mom's I guess 6th grade white girl snack kind of meals, by which I mean plain chicken fingers and plain tater tots and oranges. That would be like what I would eat in 6th grade. So there's definitely something comforting in quarantine about eating like plain macaroni and cheese or like those kinds of things you ate when you were like 11.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jen, it's important that everyone at home knows that we have heard your complaints about this segment. We hear you, and as a new kind of addition, we're going to welcome in Sam and Jesse. Sam is our producer. Jesse is his brother and is a member of the team here, and Lily and Rachel. And they're very excited to watch and listen to us eat our food. So without further ado, let's get chomping. Oh, get close to the screen.
I was warned by the fans about the ASMR element, so I tried to pick something that couldn't be ASMR, but I think I failed.
You're gonna have to do it, or I'm gonna kick you off.
Okay.
Ready? Here we go. Oh, it's so sticky.
This is so weird.
Oh, it's so sticky. Peanut butter sticky.
George, I don't think people eat peanut butter on challah. That's not like a thing.
This Jew does.
You're so Jewish. Sorry. What is the name you have, George?
It's so dry because of the peanut butter. I need some water.
I'd also just like to point out these are vegan chicken fingers because I'm doing my best to, admire Chase Brock's resilience during this time of quarantine.
I appreciate that. I'm sure he would go.
Yeah, I've been trying to not eat meat.
It's so dry.
Yeah, you picked a good ASMR food. You did.
I'm getting good at this thing. I'm excited to start my new YouTube channel.
What's the definition of ASMR?
Beats me.
It's like supposed to comfort you and put you to sleep, but whenever I see the ads for it, it's like a knife cutting through soap, and I'm like, I hate this. If I wanted to relax and go to sleep, I'd watch the Tony Awards from 1976.
Oh, really dry.
feel like I'm not going to eat an orange and have that all over me for our next
No,
drink.
eat the orange. You eat the orange. You eat the damn orange, Jen.
God. Oh God, it's juicy.
Yeah.
Never did I think that when we met during Godspell, this is where we would be today.
Well, go for it. Go for it.
Oh God. Oh God. This is so awful.
Go.
I'm eating it. 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 Are you happy, George? I'm really cute.
It's so quiet. What are you doing?
I'm eating. I'm sorry, I was quiet.
You're too polite. You know, the guys that are a great big world would have been much, much louder.
They probably would have. What have people been eating other than Joe? Have people been eating like spaghetti and like, noisy foods?
No, it's all snack stuff. No one's really tackling full meals.
Well, this was like a 6th grade meal.
I gotta tell you, I'm really disappointed in the lack of smacking, Jen, but I'm gonna let it go.
Right.
Because I love you.
You know this. My sister, Jessica Kent, her and I used to get into big fights growing up because she would eat her waffles like this.
She still eats like that.
She would specifically eat a waffle.
Jessica Kent says, I need a new sister and a new husband / roommate.
Maybe you need a new waffle to chomp on like this.
Oh my God, just dragging her and she's not even here to defend herself.
Knock on the wall.
Oh God. Okay, well, moving on from eating. I'm literally crying right now. I'm picturing her just being so she just texted cyberbullying.
If you guys are in the chat at the end of the show, we promise to cyberbully Jessica Kent and Joe Iconis as much as you'd like with you.
100%. Let's say bye to Lily, Rachel, Sam, and Jesse. Bye, you guys. Thanks for joining us.
I have this LaCroix, which makes me feel like a combination of Joel Wagner and Alicia Umphris, which is to say really cool. So
yeah, I'd say. Listen, I think it's time for show and tell. Now, there's that age-old question. If you were deserted on an island and you could only have one thing with you, what would that item be? We are all sort of deserted in our own islands. And so I wanted to ask and pry really and find out what it is that your object that's like really making it bearable.
Yeah. So the last thing that I did before quarantine, well, the very last day before this started, was my first day on the Tick, Tick, Boom movie set. But right before that, I went on a birthday trip with my 3 best friends from childhood to Minneapolis. My 3 best friends from summer camp, Emily, Alexis, and Sasha. And during like our last hurrah before we all got shut down, we went to the mall in Minneapolis and we bought these like miniature hand sanitizers from Bath and Body Works. But they're not like the good hand sanitizer.
No, because they're just fragrance.
Yeah, there's strawberry pound cake and champagne toast. But the fun thing is that they smell like those summers growing up that we would be at summer camp and spraying like body spray. And so I've been using them like as hand sanitizer. But every time I use one, I like think of my best friends and the last trip we probably ever took for a year.
You're regressing.
Special. I'm definitely regressing in good ways and bad ways.
I'm glad. Alexia Martinez says they're just glitter.
Here's the question. Where's the glitter go? Because every time I put it on and I'm like, oh, alcohol hand sanitizer, there's these little glitter things, but they dissolve too. I don't know. I can't Google it. There's something.
They're probably burrowing themselves into your skin, and then you'll end up regretting using those in like 60 years.
Yes, that's probably true.
I just basically created a reality where you are still using those hand sanitizers and still kicking at 94.
We'll see.
She never dies. My item I'm really excited about. It comes in multiple pieces. And it's very large, but basically this thing does that. I don't know if anyone can tell at this point what this is, but it is a cotton candy machine. That's right. I own a cotton candy machine with tons and tons of sugars to spin. So come on down to the carnival and get yourself some cotton candy.
That's an insane thing to have. Have you
It's pretty insane. It's definitely not a normal thing, but I never claimed to be normal.
No.
Yeah, no, I would. I didn't know how much I needed a cotton candy machine until I had a cotton candy machine.
How often have you been using it?
Obviously not often because diabetes. I don't have diabetes. I'm just saying.
Hi, Marie.
Diabetes. So I haven't used it very often. I've maybe made cotton candy 4 or 5 times.
Cool.
But you know.
And I bet it tastes just like this warm vanilla sugar hand sanitizer smells.
It 100% does. Emily says George is basically just a child with money. That's
true. Yeah.
Not no. Jen, you feeling a little sleepy?
Yes. I have a very special thing for nap time. So when I worked for Ken Davenport, we did a show called Power Ballads, and I got 100 Slankets donated. A Slanket is a knockoff Snuggie. And so I have one that I never use. And now I'm using it for nap.
Oh my God, it looks so comfy.
It's great. It's from, Power Ballads. So
thanks, Ken Davenport. Okay, so I don't know if you've read a lot of the articles, but there's a lot out there about how in quarantine our dreams are super vivid and kind of insane. And so I was curious to know if you had any weird quarantine dreams.
I keep worrying that I'm going to have a nightmare about like the murder hornets or the terrifying things going on in our world right now. And I haven't been having those dreams. I've been having pretty normal dreams. We did have to postpone the Hal Prince Runs a Minute that we were going to do during this time. And I have had the nightmare a couple times that it's like, quarantine's over, it's happening tomorrow. And I haven't written it and haven't rehearsed it, which seems like a pretty normal dream though.
Yeah, that sounds like a normal Jen Tepper dream.
Yeah. Have you been really crazy?
Yeah, mine is weird. Mine, because I've been watching a lot of Marvel, it's kind of sneaking its way into my subconscious. And so the weirdest dream that I had was after we watched Spider-Man Homecoming, Michael Keaton's character has these they look like 4 magnets, and he can put them on a wall, and then it creates a kind of a portal for him to walk through the wall, so he can penetrate any kind of top secret, secure location. And in this dream, I had that power, but I didn't have those magnets. I had to say words that have a ch sound in them. So like chair, churro, chisel.
Are you sure it wasn't like challah? Are you sure it wasn't like a Jewish cha?
It was not a cha. It was a ch. And then the walls would open and I could walk through walls. But as I was waking up from the dream, mid-dream, I realized that every time I made a ch sound, my body was kind of contorting into a fetal position almost, which made me want to buy a nanny cam so that I could observe how I'm behaving in my sleep. Yeah, last night I had a really hard time falling asleep. Really, really hard time.
Set up your phone and record yourself. It doesn't have to be a fancy nanny cam.
Yeah, but then I'm gonna run out of space on my phone. I'll get 2 hours of me just being still, and then all the good shit's gonna happen when I'm.
But you could auction off the video.
auction off a video of me sleeping.
I don't know. Crazier things happen.
I don't think anyone wants to watch me sleeping.
It is a Jewish day, a Jewish live stream today. Yay, Jews!
Jen, yay, Jews! Jen, listen, we I want to remind everyone out there that the drawing is happening, but it will close very shortly. So make sure you head over to the GoFundMe page, make your donation. The order of events in this show in this episode is a little different because we've got a very special surprise musical guest in store. And so I'm really excited to bring her on momentarily. But before we do, I don't know if you know this, but we have a really special segment of the show that I love doing. And usually we close all the episodes with this, but because we have a special secret musical guest, I'm gonna jump into our sweet tweet. tweets. Whoa, 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 yeah.
You
Whoa,
guys, I'm not the
yeah.
surprising guest, just so everyone knows that.
So, Jen, I called you less than 24 hours ago. And in under 24 hours, the response I got from the internet for sweet tweets was pretty insane. People really love you, Jen Tepper. And so a couple of those of my favorites from the assortment of sweet tweets that I got. Odd Chandler on Twitter said, meeting her was one of the highlights of my first time going to New York. She signed my copy of Untold Stories of Broadway and left a very sweet note. Gave me a huge hug and said, I have a feeling you'll be back here very soon. Not a year later, I was back for Be More Chill on Broadway.
Oh my God, I love that. That's like so special to be wrapped up in a first time in New York.
Theater Manias, not Theater Mania, the website, but Theater Manias said she has the kind of, are you getting texts?
Yes, I turned it off, but I'm sorry. These are not, oh God. I tried
Friends of Jen Tepper, you're spoiling a really sweet moment. Text her in a little bit.
Hopefully it's done.
Oh God. Theater Manias said she has this kind of energy that's so rare in people, but it's so amazing and bold. We all need a friend like her, especially during times like this. Short Irish Kid 87 said, I was introduced to her through the Jonathan Larson Project and have been obsessed ever since. Her passion for theater history is unrivaled. As someone who lives in LA and has only been to New York City once, she does such an amazing job capturing the magic of that city and of Broadway. Sheila Watko said, such an absolutely delightful human being. Not only is she ridiculously hardworking, I've never known anyone with that many jobs in my whole life. She is incredibly talented, so sweet, and pays it forward. A wonderful woman. Getting to interview her was such a highlight for me. Just Trish said, she makes me feel like I matter. Every time I talk to her, oh, that was it. Sorry, she makes me feel like I matter every time I talk to her. And lastly, Joe Iconis said, her passion has fangs. Her joy is electric. Her optimism will cut you. Her perseverance is inspiring. Her work ethic is incandescent and her convictions unwavering. This filthy business is so lucky to have her, and my life is changed because of her in innumerable ways.
Jeez, it's like a writer or something.
So that's just a little taste of all of the love that people have for you. If you want to read more, there you can find them on my Twitter account. And everyone at home, the drawing is officially closed. Winners of the drawing will appear in the ticker below once they've been randomly selected. Those of you who win, keep an eye out in your inbox for word on how to join Sunday Study Hall after the show. And if you didn't win this week, it's okay. Don't worry. You'll have another chance next Sunday right here on YouTube. And a reminder, our GoFundMe page for the Actors Fund will remain live for an entire week. So if you're watching this on a Tuesday, you can still donate. Jen, stick around because we've got a really, really special surprise musical guest. I first met our musical guest. God, it was years ago. We did a community theater production of Cats, and the concept was we were playing cats, playing humans, pretending to be dogs. It was very special. It was super deep, and since then, she's gone on to do some really, really incredible things. And so please, everyone, join me in welcoming Senator Elizabeth Warren.
Hello. Hello, George.
Hi, Elizabeth Warren.
How are you? Cheers to you. I'm good. I just poured myself a glass of wine, 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's so great to see you. My God, it's been years since we.
Oh, I know.
It's been years since we did Cats together. What?
It's been a long time.
You've been up to?
You know, writing a lot of plans, trying to fight for everybody's rights, and you know, it's a strange thing. Some days I'm very productive, and some days I'm just making a sourdough and getting out of bed, playing with my dog Bailey, and my husband. What's my husband's name?
Phil.
George Bill.
Bill, yes. Well, I lost track. You've had so many husbands.
I know, you know, it's a wild time. I've had a wild past, but now I'm on the straight and narrow, and you know, maybe the White House one day.
Do you remember when? Who were you dating when we were doing Cats? William Hung.
That's right. Oh, Mr. Hung. It's been so long. I forgot about him.
American Idol's William Hung.
That's right. She bangs. That was about me.
She bangs.
Yeah, he was. You know, they said it was Ricky Martin, but he was first. Actually, I think Ricky Martin got it, and then he got it. You know, he tried to get the ownership of it. Right? I don't know.
I think that's what happened.
That's what I remember.
It's so great to have you, Senator Warren.
It's so great to be here. This is just a highlight in a good lazy Sunday.
You call Sundays self-care Sundays.
I do. Self-care is so important. Just pouring yourself a good glass, taking a bath, catching up on old shows like Matlock, and just hoping for the best and waiting for tomorrow, you know?
Yeah, waiting for tomorrow. That's all we can do, one day at a time.
Yeah.
So I asked you to be our musical guest because a lot of people don't know that you are an accomplished singer-songwriter yourself.
A lot of people, that's right, do not know my favorite pastime is musical, is singing. I love music. It's a really great way to relax. It's why I'm able to filibuster for so long, because my diaphragm, it gives me such my singing voice. It's great for politics as well as relaxing time.
Sorry, I think I choked on a little piece of challah that was stuck in me.
That looks sticky. That looks sticky.
It was very sticky. So what a lot of people also don't know about you is that you used to write songs for Celine Dion.
That's right, I did. I did. That was post William Hung, pre being a senator.
Yes, right. Just sandwiched in between. Man, what an accomplished life you've had. And so I asked if you'd like to join in this week for a Adelaide Duet.
It would be my honor.
So Miss Warren, what is the song that what's your favorite song that you've written for Celine, and is it the song that we're going to be performing today?
It is. My favorite song I've ever written for Celine, for anybody really, is a song that I think I would have had no idea would have been more appropriate than ever today, and that is All By Myself.
Oh, it's such a good song.
It really, thank you so much.
Really epic. And so without further ado, Adelaide Duet featuring Senator Elizabeth Warren, everyone.
Well,
All By Myself. Oh, God.
Oh.
Sorry, we're having a little technical difficulty.
Hey, you know, that's the name of the game.
I'm so sorry, Senator Warren. Here we go.
I've got nothing but time.
When I was young, I never needed anyone. And making love was just for fun. Those days are gone.
All the friends I know. But when I dial the telephone, nobody's home.
All
by myself.
Don't wanna
be all by myself anymore.
Have to be sure. Sometimes I feel so insecure. And love so distant and obscure. remains the cure.
City cures, healthcare for all. Am I right, George?
Oh, don't wanna be all by myself anymore. All by myself. Don't wanna be all by myself
anymore. La 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 la. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. I wrote that too.
Really?
When I was young, I never needed anyone. And making love was just for fun. Those days are gone. All by myself. Don't wanna be all by myself anymore.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Whoa,
By myself,
oh, yeah.
live
Oh, yeah.
I've got a plan for that. I've got a plan for that. Oh, vote in November. It's canceled in New York still.
Oh my wow. Elizabeth Warren.
Oh, what an honor it was to dust off the old pipes and sing with you again.
Oh my God, Elizabeth Warren. I can't believe we just did that together.
Oh, that made me very happy. You know, one day maybe we'll be able to do it on stage together.
Live.
From New York.
Yeah, on a Saturday night. Well, Senator Elizabeth Warren, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for all your hard work on the Senate floor. Jen Tepper, thank you for joining us and for bringing the Actors Fund to our fundraising effort. Guys, so far we've raised over $1,000. Thank you all so much. And continue to donate. We're going to keep that page open for a week. I'm still in tears, so I can't believe I got to sing that with you.
It was overwhelming. I just went swimming.
Jen, how did that? I mean, did you know Elizabeth Warren sang like that?
I had no idea that was incredible. Elizabeth Warren for Alphaba, indeed.
Oh, thank you. Oh, you know, that could be fun.
Can we hear your ending to Defying Gravity? Can we just hear what that would sound like?
Oh yeah. What's that last line? Before when she sings herself.
You're not singing on this. You're not.
Bring me down. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
And nobody in all of Oz No wizard that there is or folks was is ever gonna bring me down. Oh.
Oh my God, I'm sweating.
Incredible.
I'm literally,
Brooklyn, it was so good.
I'm literally sweating. I just got a text from Lily. Someone just commented, "Is she actually Elizabeth Warren?" I'm confused.
Yes, of course.
Of course, and thank you for questioning it. I'm just showing a new side of myself. But I do love to sing in my free time.
My favorite part was when you didn't remember who your husband was. I loved that.
That's right. You know, when you were together for so many years, you call each other baby, sweetie, and suddenly 20 years pass and you forget their real name.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. And finally, I want to thank everyone at home. Oh my God. I want to thank everyone at home for tuning in and for donating. Oh, I want to thank Jen Tepper for coming on to the show. Julia Madison, the great Julia Madison as Elizabeth Warren. Thank you so much. The two of you really came in the final hour and saved the day. And congratulations to the winners. Your names are down below in the ticker. There's a Gabriel, your last name. I'm just not even going to try to pronounce those names. But for those of you who didn't win, we'll see you next week for a very special Mother's Day episode of Sundays on the Couch with George. That's right. It's Mother's Day. Don't forget. Hi, Mom. I am super excited to welcome my guest for next week. You know her as Blanca on FX's Pose. You've seen her as Audrey in Little Shop of Horrors. Next Sunday, the great MJ Rodriguez will be joining us. And thanks again for tuning in. Take care of yourselves and each other. Stay inside. Wash your hands. We'll see you next Sunday on the couch. Bye, everybody.
Bye.